After such a challenging year, the National Science Teaching Association is once again bringing together thousands of educators from different levels to share and learn from each other about the latest in science education. My name is Erica Shugart, and it is an honor to be selected as your new executive director. I have dedicated my career to improving the integration of science into everyone's daily lives. I am passionate about NSTA's mission to promote excellence and innovation in science teaching and learning. These next 4 weeks are going to be full of inspiring keynote presentations, motivating sessions, unconferences, marketplace partner workshops, thought leadership, and so much more. Participate in rich, real-time dialogue with like-minded educators from around the country. Listen to expert speakers on your own schedule, and drop in on lively social networking events at Engage Spring 21. All sessions will be available in the on-demand library for 90 days following the event. To catch highlights throughout the meeting, make sure to tune in to NSTA TV, as here we'll be highlighting topics from throughout the meeting and hearing from organizations that are at the forefront of science education. NSTA TV starts right now.
Thank you, Erica, for kicking off NSTA TV for us, and congratulations on being selected as the new NSTA Executive Director. My name is Autria Godfrey, and I will be your host for the next 3 weeks, and welcome to episode 1 of NSTA TV. We have a lot of ground to cover in the next 3 weeks, but let's start by diving into talking about social emotional learning and the science classroom.
We really like to think of social emotional learning and academic achievement as really a two-way street. So we know that explicitly teaching psychosocial skills like dealing with one's emotions, with their relationships with others, and coping with the environment leads to increased achievement academically. Conversely, excellent teaching in the classroom, whether that's virtual or in person, really leads students to be able to feel more self-confident and like successful learners. So when we're talking about inattention and distractibility, for example, in pre-K or kindergarten, students might look extra fidgety or wiggly or have difficulty engaging their teachers or their friends in conversation. And like during free play, they might have difficulty attending to more than one activity or easily moving from one activity to another. And then in older ages, elementary, middle, and high school, students may have difficulty staying focused on assigned tasks or completing those tasks within the time frame that the teacher gives, and things like preparing and studying for exams or projects. So these are just some of the kinds of behaviors when we're talking about something like inattention or distractibility that teachers could keep an eye out for.
In terms of the virtual learning environment, it's tough because the teacher doesn't have the student right there to pick up on certain cues, but what they can pick up on is, let's say, they're turning the camera off, or they're turning it on and off. They're chatting with their friends. There's distractions at home all around them, like they're not really focused on the camera. There might be pets, there might be siblings, there might be housework going on in the background, or other siblings learning. In terms of a virtual learning environment, just kind of keeping and being able to identify some of those struggles with being focused on task. Social emotional learning, is a lot like emotional intelligence, in adults and in corporate land and in the workplace in general. It's great that it's being taught now. These are foundational skills. They're only going to be science students and students for a short time, but they're going to thrive and evolve into adults who are going to have to succeed in the workplace. And learning these skills in a safe school environment was only going to help them, and they're going to be able to master them as they go through school and as they go through life.
Reading and writing have been the focus in the classroom since the earliest days of learning, but a team of science and education experts at the University of Arizona and UC Berkeley argue that speaking and listening skills are important too. Let's take a closer look.
The dialogue tool was presented to me, and it It changed how I run things in my class.
Dialogue stands for diagnosing the argumentation levels of groups. And so what we want to do is provide teachers a way of measuring at what level groups of students are engaging in evidence-based argumentation.
What I've found with this tool is it makes everything easier.
The intent with this project is to make an impact. If more and more teachers get their hands on these resources, more and more of their students are going to have opportunities to practice speaking and listening skills that are incredibly important skills in the 21st century.
There are a lot of challenges when it comes to creating equitable opportunities for teaching students in science education. Let's hear now from a couple of experts about ideas they have for overcoming those challenges and successfully educating underrepresented students.
In order for any equity to take place in science education, we must be consciously intentional in what we are doing for kids, regardless of race, regardless of socioeconomic status. When I say that, I mean that we have to take into consideration perspectives from those who are teaching the students and the perspectives of the students. If we don't understand each other's perspectives, then we need to do our own research in learning people's cultures, backgrounds, and history.
When we're thinking about how we can effectively and efficiently engage underrepresented students in science curriculum, and the strategies that I will afford teachers is ensuring that performance tasks, activities are made applicable and relatable to the students that are being taught. And in order for teachers to do that, they need to survey their students, pique their interest, see what things that they're involved in, see what different things that they love to do. In the long run, as an individual who was once a science teacher and who is now an administrator on a building level, to where I am empowering teachers to empower our students in STEM, we're building the society that we hope to see. And also, with being the Multicultural Equity Division Director, it gives me the chance to empower pre-service educators, to give PDs on social justice, to give PDs on diversity, equity, and inclusion, to empower those who are over or in charge of students, to then, once we drop little seeds into students' lives or pre-service teachers' lives, then those little seeds will then grow because someone else will come through and water them.
Equity is about accountability. So when we are in positions of budgeting, when we are in positions of instruction, where we are in positions of ensuring that our students are receiving what they need, we have to be accountable to each other. We have to be accountable to the students in understanding where they are, where they're from, and how they're living. And we have to be accountable to ourselves, because we have to be honest with ourselves and saying to ourselves, do I want to teach a student of color? Do I want to teach students that look like me? If I'm teaching students who do not look like me, then how can I build relationships with them so that they know that I desire the best for them and that you desire for them to want to achieve?
Well, that's it for episode 1, but make sure to tune back in next week as we will bring you more exclusive material. If you didn't catch our show today, you can always watch on your own time from the NSTA TV YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.